Free agency frenzy continues on the second day of the new NFL league year. Welcome in, everybody. Cassie Soto and Vinny Bonsignor here, your Vegas Nation team. Vinny, let's go ahead and jump right into this, as always, and start with a signing. The Raiders are signing former Cardinals running back Kenyan Drake to a 2-year, $11 million deal. This one blew up on Twitter. I know Twitter isn't the end-all be-all, Vinny, but people freaked out. Can you explain this one for us?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back in John Gruden's history, he's always loved the two-back tandem, Napoleon Kaufman and Tyrone Wheatley with the Raiders in his first go-around. Think along those terms. Kenyan Drake, the versatility that he brings as a pass catcher and as a runner was really, really compelling to the Raiders. And they also understand, and as we've seen these last couple of years with Josh Jacob, it's important to be able to have a viable alternative to Josh, just to be able to keep Josh healthy throughout the long haul of a season. And this, kind of helps along both of those train tracks. Kenyon catching the ball out of the backfield, I think, is going to be a big part of the Raiders offense moving forward. And I think that what he's able to do, the versatility that he creates, especially in the red zone now, I think is going to be a big factor in that side of the field. And we know that they have struggled scoring touchdowns in the red zone. You put another weapon out there, in that situation, I think it's going to really help.
All right, well, let's move on now. We've got that one figured out. We know John Gruden is an offensive guy, so that's where this is coming from, Vinny. Speaking of offense, let's talk about Marcus Mariota. The NFL Network has reported that the Raiders asked the backup QB to take a $7 million pay cut. Now he would be at $3 million salary. What do we think about this? Do we think he'll accept that offer? Do you think, what do you think is happening there?
Well, it's really no different than what happened with Gabe Jackson. Yeah. I'm not quite, I don't think Rodney Hudson fit into that category. But there's situations where, because of where the salary cap is going, and right now $10.7 million for a backup quarterback is pretty rich. It's not unusual. And so these are, conversations that have been going on for a while now. And I think the Raiders want to keep Marcus Mariota, but at $10.7 million, it's almost impossible. As far as, the agent, sometimes you wonder if, there are situations when you overplay your hand, because there were opportunities for Marcus Mariota to get traded to a place where he would have an opportunity to start. That's not happening here in Las Vegas. This is Derek Carr's team. Part of that would have probably meant, restructuring his deal a little bit. I can't sit here and say he said no to that, but the fact that he didn't get traded is probably a good indication that, where those conversations went. And as a result, if you look now for Marcus Mariota, where are the opportunities to go start? The Chicago Bears, have made their move at quarterback. The New Orleans Saints, I guess that could be a possibility. But Cam Newton going back to the New England Patriots, a lot of those opportunities are drying up for him. The Indianapolis Colts made their move at quarterback. So, at that price tag, and for an opportunity to start somewhere, you would have think that maybe a bigger or longer vision would have been in play where, hey, even if you have to go someplace and play at a lesser deal in 2021, but put yourself in a really good position as a starter to show everybody in the NFL that you're still capable of starting to set yourself up for a bigger payday in 2022. You would have thought that would have been more of the thinking. That obviously wasn't the case. Now, as you look at it for Marcus Mariota, not sure where the options are. And if he doesn't take that pay cut and he does go out in the open market, not sure he's ever going to see that $10.7 million or anything close to it this year.
Well, that'll definitely be an interesting storyline to follow as we are obviously ramping up here in free agency. Let's look at the defense now, Vinny, for the Raiders. They signed Yannick Ngakoue. They signed Quentin Jefferson, Solomon Thomas. Any more big holes to fill for this Raiders defense that we know struggled last year?
Free safety, and the Raiders are absolutely in that market right now. If I can't share some of the texts that you get about how much money people are asking for and the
come on, Vinny, give us a scoop. Give it to us.
It's funny, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, it's a little bit too much. I think the asking price for some of these safeties doesn't reflect where the market is right now. Somebody's going to have to budge, and I think that there's some bargains out there when you talk about the Anthony Harrises, the Kareem Jacksons of the world. There's some strong possibilities out there, but it's going to take on their part, the players' parts, kind of coming back down to earth a little bit before the Raiders, get seriously involved. They want one of those guys. There's no question about it. But, that price tag is going to have to come down.
Well, news also came out today, Vinny, that the NFL has signed some long-term media agreements. Can you sort of break that down for us and what that means for teams and now players and maybe getting some more cash in their pockets?
Yeah, that's going to happen fairly soon. It's kind of funny how it breaks right in the middle of free agency, and I'm sure agents and players are like, "Whoa," but it's there's a little bit of a delayed reaction to that. That money, they're going to start seeing it here in the future, and you're going to see that salary cap go up by a lot, and there's going to be a day where that salary cap is in the $300 million range. You just think about that, and maybe even higher as these years go on, because they're, been really busy covering, free agency right now. But just the numbers that I'm seeing, it looks like it's doubled in terms of the, what the NFL is going to be making on their new TV rights and broadcasting rights. That's just going to make that pie so much bigger, and that 48% that players get of that pie that determines what the salary cap is each year. That's going to grow as well. So they're going to start reaping those rewards, no doubt about it, here pretty soon. But not this year, unfortunately.
All right, Vinny. Well, thank you so much for the continued updates. Vinny, bringing in the best of the best Raiders coverage for us. Thank you so much, as always.
You got it, Cassie. Have a good one.
Head on over to vegasnation.com for all of your Raiders news and updates. And give us a follow on Twitter as well, @VegasNation. Thanks so much for watching.